right, everyone. Hello. Here I am today on Monday, June 30, 2025. Sorry about your delayed video this weekend. We're getting it in today. Here I am with Mia and Caesar's Airedale Terrier puppies. They were born May 19th, 2025. We do still have 4 males available in this litter. Currently, it's light blue, brown, tan, and lime green. And they are all doing splendid. They are 6 weeks old today, and they are a really awesome litter. I love this litter for many reasons, one of which Mia and Caesar are some of the most upstanding dogs you're ever going to find. Gorgeous Airedales with fabulous, fabulous personalities. Here's pink, lime green, orange, purple, pink. I can't tell who that is right now. Light blue, brown, dark green, blue. I'm kind of zoomed out right now. I'll zoom in a second. Just trying to let you see everybody. So today, in today's video, I'm going to do a little recap. So that's gray right there. Blue, light blue, tan. I'm assuming this is, no, purple. Purple, black, blue, tan, light blue, orange, lime green, gray back there, pink, dark green. Who am I missing? And brown. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about personalities and describe what I'm seeing personality-wise. This is usually, so this litter typically, oh, look at those two. Typically, I wish I knew who you were off the top of my head. You're going to make me scoot all the way over there. Oh, that was blue on the right and black. Typically, so this litter, we did puppy picking earlier. We have actually definitely gotten the vibes from people that people want to pick specifically, who is their puppy. They want to know sooner than later. So in the past, I've done my puppy picking at 6 weeks old. And this time we did it earlier. And so 6 weeks is when I'm used to describing personalities. And I'm going to kind of do that today. Great bunch of Airedales here. I will first say that this is definitely a little bit more of an easygoing litter. It's another reason I like to always do puppy picking at 6 weeks is because I kind of know what to expect from puppies at 6 weeks and can kind of compare from litter to litter energy-wise. And this is black. This is definitely a little bit more of an easygoing litter, I feel like, in general. I always like to say, look at Orange just passed out. I always like to say, before I get into personalities, I am describing, so here's pink. I am describing what I see all the time, not just in today's videos. Puppies are just like people. They have moods. They are tired, awake, sleepy, goofy. Sometimes they have moods and times of day and things. So it's not just what you see in this video. It's what I've been gathering from these guys for the last 6 weeks. Also, I always like to say, under the umbrella of being an Airedale, so what does that mean, umbrella? It means all these guys are, they're litter mates, they're siblings, so they're all going to share a lot of personality traits because they're siblings. But as well, they're also all Airedales, and so they're all going to have that very high energy, goofy, outgoing, confident, just that funny Airedales that we all know and love. They're going to have all of that. Under that umbrella of being litter mates and of being Airedales, they do have very unique and different personalities. It's incredible because they look so much alike, they act so much alike, but they definitely all have their own personalities. And I found that a lot of people, maybe that have only ever had 1 or maybe 2 Airedales or that have only met a few, they kind of assume they're all going to act identical to that one that they know. Here's purple, and that's really not true. They definitely have unique personalities. So you do have to go into this knowing that they're not going to be identical. This is gray to that Airedale that you're maybe thinking of. And if you've had multiple Airedales, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the next thing I like to talk about is why I do the descriptions this way. I like to rank the puppies from most outgoing and energetic to least. What does that tell us? So it's really pretty accurate for me over the years. it seems like in general, the really outgoing and energetic go, go, go puppies typically stay that way. Here's pink and here's purple, and end up being very outgoing and energetic and typically alpha adults. And the really quiet and shy ones a lot of times end up staying more easygoing. Here's dark green. He's like my soulful guy. He's always looking at me with soulful eyes. They a lot of times kind of stay that way and are a little bit more submissive, a little bit easier sometimes because they're just a little bit less. So if that makes sense, hopefully that does. So I am still going to rank these guys. Here's pink. Like I said, this litter's fairly easygoing in general. And I also don't have, this is orange. I don't have anybody in this litter that I'm like, oh, that one's a spaz, watch out, or oh, that one's so quiet and shy. I need to warn people about that. I honestly don't feel like I do. It was kind of hard for me to rank this litter, which it's definitely not always. Here's pink. So I'm going to start with the girls since there's only 3 of them. And we do have Pink Freedom as our number 1. She's very friendly, outgoing, energetic. She's just a character, this little girl. She's always coming up to say hi to me. If you've already seen that in the video, she's funny. Number 2 is Orange Cody. Where is she? Oh, see? Yep, she's here too. Snuggled up right next to me. Again, there's not huge variation between these 3, but definitely I've seen that pink is a little bit more so than orange, and orange is a little bit more so than purple. Here she is. Here's Winnie. Hi there, honey. She's just a tad more on the easygoing and quieter side at this point. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. So those are the girls. Size-wise, there's really actually not very much variation between these 3. Freedom might be built a little bit more petite, but I don't think actually really those 3 females are about the same size. Sorry, my screen keeps like zooming in and out. All right, for the boys. So again, I have light blue, brown, tan, and lime green still available. So I have my number 1 of the boys as lime green. So he is available. He's right here. He's very clearly probably the most outgoing in the litter. Again, not like a crazy spaz like I've sometimes had in litters, but he's definitely pretty confident. I can foresee him maybe being an alpha, and he's usually the troublemaker trying to steal toys from others and all that stuff. So that's him. You're licking my foot. My foot's asleep. Number 2, I keep looking at the girls. Number 2 is also still available, and that is Brown. Where's Brown? Where's Brown? That's him. So he's feeling a little chill right now. He's not going to show you his wild side. He's a cutie. Look at that face. So here's lime green. I knew you'd come over here and say hi. And here's black. Hey, Brown. Woo! There he is. Look at that cute face. He is my number 2. Not quite as outgoing as lime green, but just a hair behind. He's a lot of times seems like he's one of the first ones to run out. But I want to say these 8 males, boy, did I have a hard time ranking them. They go back and forth for me. It's kind of interesting that way, but yeah, they do a little bit. All right, number 3 and 4, I kind of had a tie between dark green and blue. Where are those 2? Here's blue right here. And dark green's right there. Those 2 I feel like go back and forth between being number 3 and number 4. Definitely not the most outgoing of the litter. I had thought maybe blue was looking like he might be for a little bit there, but no, I would say lime green and brown kind of pulled ahead of him. And dark green and blue, it just seems like one day one of them will be a little bit more easygoing than the other, and one day the other one will. So they're pretty middle of the road, middle upper, personality wise. And as they come over to me, I'll try to show you faces better. That was gray. Here's lime green. Here's black. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Really nice looking puppies, that's for sure. Number 5 I have as tan. And sorry, I'm doing bad at names today because it's hard for me to process everything I'm saying and say names. So tan is right here. There goes brown and blue. Tan is right here, chewing away. So right now I have tan, pink, lime green. Are you black? Yeah, black, blue, light blue, dark green, tan, lime green, brown, blue, pink. Focus, camera, focus. Purple, lime green, brown. So Tan's available too, and he's number 5. Total middle of the road type personality on Tan. And then 6, I have Gray. Gray's name is Alfie. I love that. It's cute. Hey, bud. Gray. There he is. Alrighty. Then number 7, I have is light blue. 7 and 8 was another one that I really went back and forth on between black being. I did put him as 8, number black right here. But like today, he's making me like, oh, he should be higher up, and light blues should be lower down. So those two are pretty interchangeable too. That's kind of a little general recap for you. Size-wise, there's really not massive variation quite yet. A lot of times I'll start seeing that a little bit later. And size is so hard to predict. These are Airedales. Their mom and dad are really good sized. And they're hard to predict. Airedales can vary in size from 20 pounds. So, and I've seen really little ones just keep growing and end up really big. I've seen really big ones, stop earlier than others. In general, if there's like an extreme big one or extreme small one, obviously that is kind of in general sticks with it, but nobody really is that terribly massive other than, I would say black is pretty good sized. Gray is also pretty decent sized. And blue Jack is pretty good size. So Alfie, Jack, and black. And small wise, brown is probably my smallest. I wouldn't even call him small. He's just a little bit petitely built. Lime green kind of is petitely built too, but they're both really tall. So anyways, I'm already at 13 minutes for these guys. I will continue to share with you what I see in the videos, but I just wanted to get that out to you today. So light blue ranks as the available puppies. Light blue ranks as a 7, so very calm. Tan ranks as a 5, very middle of the road. Lime green is number 1, very outgoing. And brown is number 2, also pretty outgoing. So we have all spectrums of personalities still available to meet your needs. So feel free to email me. I know a lot of you have been kind of waiting on this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Here's lime green. They are really doing awesome. I love this litter. Absolutely love. They're just awesome. Here's blue. Here is black, gray, light blue, blue, purple, black, tan, gray. I can't tell who that is. Here is dark green. Behind me, I got a bunch here too. Come on out. Here's pink. Here's orange. Blue in my face saying hello. Your lover. So they're all doing awesome, everyone. Hope you have a fabulous week.